Hey everybody, welcome back to Matt Breaks Wax. I've got a quick little review of WhatNot and an introduction to my first live WhatNot show. I'll start with the basics. What is WhatNot? WhatNot is a live selling platform. If you think of it like eBay and QVC kind of had a love child, that's kind of what it's like. So if you think of like some of the features of eBay, right? You have auctions, you have buy it nows. Those are well-known online selling. But we also have QVC-like features where somebody's standing in front of you, or putting product in front of you live. You may be able to bid on, or you may be like buying a spot in a break. If you're new to card breaking, there's actually a big, glossary of industry terms on Topps' website. I found it helpful getting back into the hobby because there was so much new stuff. Obviously, if I got out in like 97 to 2001, I don't know, somewhere in there, there wasn't a lot of this stuff going on back then as far as breaks and that sort of stuff. In fact, when I picked my channel name, I just picked Matt Breaks Wax because I like to break open boxes in the front seat of my truck. It really wasn't, it had nothing to do with modern breaking, which is folks buying a spot in a card break and, buying a team or buying a player, and then the breaker divvying up those cards, opening up. It kind of fits a little bit of what I do, and maybe I'm trying to get into that a little bit more, but make it unique to me and my audience. But it just shows you how much is new in the hobby, and even though it's been around for a while, it's still new to me and other folks who are getting back into it. So WhatNot, there's so many other platforms out there as well: Fanatics Live, Loop, Alt, eBay Live, Drip, Dibdit. I don't know. There's so many out there that you could be using and selling cards on or breaking on. So why did I pick WhatNot? WhatNot was one that attracted me first, just because I could find what I wanted very easily. There were cards, singles, there were auctions, there were buy it nows, there were breakers. I could get a little bit of everything here. And not only that, if I'm interested in something else, I could always look up something else because they have other products, sneakers, houseplants, which I have a nice collection of. Those are other things that can be found on WhatNot. So for me, it was about ease of use and my experience. Now, with any platform, you can have a good or bad experience. I've had good and bad experiences on Facebook, on Instagram. I've had good and bad experiences on eBay. I'll have good and bad experiences on WhatNot. It's a matter of really kind of taking your time to dig in and look for your niche and look for your people, find your community on the platform that you're on, and then you can kind of make your experience better if it starts off poorly. So for me, when you first get on WhatNot, the algorithm kind of sucks you into the biggest channels. I was kind of aware of that, but as I dug further and further, I found out that those bigger channels were kind of, sometimes overcharging for spots in their breaks just because of the hype or because of their overhead, right? These are big businesses that have, employees that are coming in for shifts to do breaks. They have overhead, they have expenses, they have advertising, they have, all this other stuff they got to pay for. And their breaks are not always the best deal for you as a buyer. So I guess I wanted to give a little bit of advice of how you can have success on WhatNot as a buyer. The first thing I would suggest, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of just start by showing some of the cards that will be available in my first show, just so you can see those. We're going to do a 1990 themed show, so everything will be from 1990 if it's junkwax, or a player that was active in 1990, or we'll have the 1990 print stuff from the 2025 Topps set up here. So how can you have success on WhatNot? I think one of the big things you could do to help yourself on WhatNot if you're just starting out is join. Get to promo code. All sellers have a promo code link. I'm going to post mine in the comments and in the description of the video. It's also in my profile here on YouTube. But I wanted you to be able to get that link because it does give you some credit, right? So you can try it out before you start spending your own money. And you will spend your own money because it is a great platform. You will see things that you want in your collection. You will get them and you will like them, but you will want to get all of them. So, there's a couple things I can recommend to try to be careful, right? So watch a lot, right? Go watch a lot of different breaks, different styles of breaks, learn the language, learn the tools in the platform, learn how to bid, learn how to do buy it now. And even if you're not going to if something is very obviously getting bid up and going to go higher than, just practice bidding to bid it up a little bit. Just get familiar with the mechanics of the platform. Obviously don't bid on anything that you can't afford or that you don't really want, because there's always a chance that the bidding could stop. But I think if you're familiar with cards and you kind of know the general value of things, you can bid I guess say speculatively on things just to try out the platform. I would say know your budget going in. Make sure that you know your limits. It is addictive, like gambling, right? I mean, it's something you're excited about, you're passionate about, you're into the hype. Breakers are going to try to encourage you to kind of go after that, and are going to try to hype you up. I try not to break with those breakers, but we all get excited when somebody gets a big hit in a break or makes a great deal on a card and gets a good purchase. We all get excited. So it's an exciting platform. Just don't get carried away, right? Bid responsibly, know your limits going in. A good rule is like whatever you would spend, on a pack, on cards in a week, kind of have that as your budget and whatnot for the week, right? So if you're going to start buying on WhatNot or another platform, set your budget and stick to it. And it's hard, right? There's also, you got to remember, there's shipping involved, right? You're on an online platform. So the price you see is probably also going to have shipping attached. So a $5 card now becomes an $8 card because there was some shipping on it, right? So just watch your numbers, watch your budget. You can always go up in your profile and see how much you spent. This was one of the things. Hey, I'll be perfectly honest, right? I got carried away in the month of January. I bought a ton of breaks. I bought more than I wanted to. I didn't watch my budget, but that's on me, right? So for me, I learned that lesson that you can learn just by avoiding the mistakes that I made, right? I'm not saying I am in any kind of trouble, but I spent more than I wanted to, and I spent more than I probably would have, out in the wild buying cards, right? But I would have done the same thing at a show, right? If I go to a show and I have a whole bunch of things in front of me that I haven't had access to before, and that's the big thing, it's access, right? So know your comps, know your eBay sales comps, get an app like 130 Point where you can see the sold listings for eBay sales, and understand what a card should be going for in the ballpark, and if you're getting a good deal or not. If you're buying singles, if you're buying breaks, what would you spend on packs of cards in a week, right? Are you somebody who buys hangers or blasters every week or every couple of weeks? I should show you, we got a couple of patch cards that we're going to have in the show. Kind of set that as your budget. Whatever you would kind of spend in a week, do the same thing here on WhatNot. Have a budget for your week on the platform. All right. The second thing I'll say for finding success as a buyer is find people that have the same vibe that you do about collecting, right? People who love to collect. I'm going to put some of these autographs up. These might be buy it nows, but they'll be live during the show. You can see a sneak preview. Find people who have the same vibe you have about cards. Be sure to talk to those people, get in the chat, ask them questions, who their favorite players are. They'll tell you, because the big breakers aren't really talking about their favorite players and favorite teams. Like, they're trying to get you to buy, right? That's what they're trying to do. Come on, chat, let's buy, let's get that up. It's not like, I can't believe it's going so low. That's not what I'm there for. I'm there to talk about baseball, talk about awesome cards that we like, talk about awesome players that we love, talk about our teams, talk crap about other people's teams. That's what I'm there for. So that's what my show is going to be like, right? My show is not going to be hyping up anything. If you don't want it, don't bid on it, right? I'm going to just putting it up there is all I'm doing. So, once you find your people, I think you kind of get a feel for the app, and you kind of narrows your experience a lot. You can start tuning out a bunch of the noise. Now the algorithm's still going to try to send you certain things, but you can largely filter that out by just looking at the breakers that you follow. Okay, so who should you follow? I have a bunch of folks that I'm going to link to. I'm going to put their links in the description that you could start with on the platform, that are people that I like. They're people who love cards. They're people who have treated me well. They pack things, they ship things quickly. They pack things well. I think you'd be safe starting off with any of these folks. So if you like singles, Rocket Girl Cards, she puts up a lot of good singles, does it kind of rapid fire, and fair prices. My favorite, my two favorite singles guys, Rob Opens Wax, who's a channel I've loved and watch almost every day. He kind of does his stuff in real time, so the things that have been in his videos in the week are in his WhatNot show at the end of the week, if that makes sense. The other guy I like is Cardboard Goodies. He does a Sunday night oddballs show, and it was just one of the most fun things. If you love old cards, junkwax cards, random cards, like all the old product release cards that were from other industries, like some random Midwest sausage company put out a limited run like Kangaroo Free Jr. set or something. Like, it's just the most random things you'll ever find. I think the most fun card I got from him, I got a card of Bo Jackson and Dr. Ruth, the sex therapist. Yes, there was a card of that. As far as breaks go, and singles, some people do both. Stank Cards is a guy here in Maryland, Orioles fan like me. I just love hanging out on his channel. I'll pop in even if I'm not buying anything. I usually end up getting something, but just fun to hang out. He's always doing single shows and breaks, and he mixes it up a lot. OFC Chad, I think he's an Astros fan, and he's just if you feel like you're visiting, I don't know, for me it's like talking to my dad when I was young, like just like stories from guys who are older than you, who are have lived a whole life full of baseball and are telling you baseball stories. I mean, he talks about playing, coaching, cards he's getting, what he likes. He does a lot of breaks, but he also does some single shows too, and I've appreciated his channel. I will say that I've got probably 3 breakers in my top 3 that I'm consistently visiting. One of those is Pick and Good. Pick and Good is probably one of my favorite streams. A lot of other breakers are in their stream just to hang out, just because they're good people. It's a husband and wife couple, and they're into cards. They're going to shows, like they love their teams, and they're just a very fun stream. Another couple is C3 card collecting couple. Another great show. Just fun to hang out in. I actually hung out there several times and hadn't bought anything, and I bought something, and I was like, how's this the first time I bought something from you guys? Like, I couldn't believe it because I've been there so often. But we also end up in a bunch of each other's shows, so we always are bumping into each other in the chats. And then Striker DTB, a little more late night, a little more irreverent, maybe not as PG-13, but very fun. He's a Rangers fan. Talks about the breaks that he's doing, what he's collecting. Just love that show as well. So these are folks that I think you'd be safe to start off with. Obviously, if you want to come hang out with me, I'd love that too. So that brings me to my next thing, which is my show. So my first show is going to be tomorrow night, Monday, February, 24th? Yep, 24th, 7 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to hang out for a couple hours, and we're going to run a bunch of things available. So I'll have all the singles that I just showed. We'll have some autographs up here in the Buy It Now. I'm going to auction off. I have like 8 of these lunch boxes we can auction off. I'm going to do, I thought we'd do a 1990 theme, right? We have the 1990 35th anniversary in the top set. We have all of our players making appearances here. Bo Jackson, Larry Walker, Ryan Sandberg, right? So how cool would it be to, like, you know, maybe bid on these singles, but also take a chance at opening some 1990 Topps rack packs. So I've got 2 boxes of rack packs that'll be available to purchase. We can rip them live, or I can just ship them to you the way they are. Although that will disappoint the chat, I'm telling you. I'll give you a rip or ship option, but you know, some rooms will treat you poorly if you don't rip it in front of them, because we want to join in the excitement with you, right? So I basically pulled out all my inventory of 1990 stuff for this. So I've got a 1990 Bowman pack. I've got a ton of these. We can look for the Bo Jackson card. I still haven't found it on this channel since July, so we can keep ripping and try to find the Bo Jackson. I've got everybody's favorite 1990 Donruss. These are the ugly red cards. I've got 1990 Fleer. These are the ones that look like left-handed kids with right-handed scissors cut the left edge. This is always terrible. I've got Upper Deck. We can search through some Upper Deck. This was like, you know, the company that was changing the game back in 1990. I've got a couple of 1990 Score football stuff left. I've got in the junkwax single lots we're going to do, I've got stuff sorted for different teams. So we can do, you know, baseball, football. I've got a little bit of hockey. I've got 1 lot of basketball. So, you know, if you watch the channel, you know, I'm primarily baseball and football. But I have a couple of other things here as well. So that's my plan. I plan to do some giveaways if I can figure the mechanics of that out here before tomorrow. But you know, I want to make it a very fun experience. Just hang out, have a good time, and you know, I hope you'll join me. There is a referral link in my description. And I'll put it in the comment section of the video as well. If you join through that link, they'll give you $15. How cool is that? You can spend it anywhere on the platform. I hope it's with me, but if I don't have something that you're into, I hope you'll spend it with one of the folks I recommended today. So that's it for me. This has been kind of a long video, but I've been working on it, you know, putting my thoughts together and just trying to have things organized for you. So I hope that helps, and I hope you'll join me at my very first WhatNot show tomorrow, Monday, February 24th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the WhatNot platform. I'm not going to be live streaming it here for now. I'm still working on the mechanics of setting up the dual live stream. I have some limitations. I guess it's only available for certain things, and I have to use some extra software to set that up. So if I can get it worked out, I'll try, but as of right now, I do not plan to stream it here on YouTube. So you'll have to jump over there with me on WhatNot, or catch the clips later as I post them after the show. So thank you, everybody. If you want to bid on something live, you got to get signed up with an account. So go ahead and take care of that today, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.